Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. And I thought of something very interesting when I was playing Doctor Strange recently, because after I hit raid level 499, I honestly felt like, why should I play high levels of World Boss Ultimate? The rewards are basically the same, the CCF drops are basically the same, so why don't I just always go through and play stage 30 so I can get, you know, some good booty box rewards if I ever happen to pull a booty box, but I can just kind of go through it quickly, 30 seconds a minute, I can play one-handed while I'm brushing my teeth, etc. But then I was, the other day I was like, you know what, maybe it's time for me to get back into it. Maybe I can start making some more high-level World Boss Ultimate gameplay. Maybe more players have caught up. They're at a higher stage now than they were a few months ago. We've got better tier 3s now with Doctor Strange, especially for Call Obsidian specifically. So I went ahead and I was been playing Stage 59 for the past few days, and I've actually been playing it carrying Ronan through. I've been playing it with this team here, Nick Fury lead, Doctor Strange, and Ronan. And I've just shocked and blown away at how good Doctor Strange is. So originally I was going to make a video about Doctor Strange, and I was going to make a video about the HP bar and how it kind of fluctuates. Sometimes it goes down pretty steadily because he has like a constant stream of attacks, but then other times it like bursts down. But that baby burst, that big old burst in the back is actually due to the strikers. So I thought it would be a really cool experiment to go in with a modified team and take in one of these three gals, these beautiful, very nice looking girls, creepy, anyways, and go and see which one is going to do the most, which one is going to be the most effective. Now, just a quick PSA, this is not Mr. Scientific America. We don't have National Geographic, NASA scientists standing by to verify my results, but we are going to go for a 2-minute time cap, like a 2-minute sort of hypothesis test for Rachel, Scarlet, and Weapon Hex. Now, they don't have exactly the same builds. Rachel's obviously level 62 and not level 70, so it's not a fair comparison in terms of the damage they're going to do. But frankly, at stage 59, I don't think any of them are going to be doing outrageous damage with their own striker abilities on their own. But we are going to be testing how often they use their appropriate skills. It's actually their 4th skill for all 3 of them. We've got Cosmic Apocalypse for her with the all defense. Actually, the all defense doesn't stack. It's just the mind control and the damage received, the 10% damage received. How often does Scarlet Witch do her 4th skill, which gives the all defense down, or excuse me, the all defense down, the mind control, and the damage received. And then how often Weapon Hex does her 4th skill, which is just all defense down. So we've kind of got a smattering. Scarlet Witch has the most different effects. She's got mind control, all defense down, and damage received increased. Rachel Summers has mind control and damage received, and then Weapon Hex only has all defense down. So we're going to see which of the 3 is the best. Obviously, you want to bring all 3 of them in. I mean, you don't have to bring in one striker, but it's interesting to note, perhaps if you want to prioritize one over the other, you can have a better idea based on this video, but also because people speculate on it. This character does this attack more often, this character does that attack more often, so on and so forth. So I'm going to check it out. So we're going to go for a stage 59. We used Wasp so we don't get debuffed, we don't get hit by the tornadoes to affect our scores or our attacks. We want to just keep a really smooth rhythm with Doctor Strange and pay attention to how that bar fluctuates. These are the 3 contestants. We're going to start off with our tried and true beauty, the kind of the belle of the ball. And the one that most people will swear by is their best striker. We're talking Scarlet Witch. So yeah, the things to look for are, I mean, of course, how much damage I do, but then how often she does her 4th skill. That is really the only indicator that we need to happen. So we're doing the same 4-3-2 rotation. And the interesting thing about Doctor Strange that makes this test possible is the fact that not only does he keep Call Obsidian cornered for the entire fight, like Call Obsidian never moves, but Doctor Strange has a very simple rotation. I'm not trying to proc specifically on one skill or another. I'm just doing my rotation, and wherever it lands with the rage proc is where it lands with the rage proc. And the nice thing about that, it's almost like having a CTP of authority or a patience or transcendence. It sort of frees your mind. You don't have to be constantly looking. You don't have to be thinking about timing. You don't have to kite. You just have to do the skills. And especially for Doctor Strange, just do the skills as fast as you can. As long as you can cancel well and pop those tier 3s and keep your 5th skill active after the 6, you're going to come up with fairly stable and fairly consistent results. And when it comes to testings like these, again, it's not scientific. I'm not the be-all and end-all answer, but it is much more consistent. I think the results are much more reliable than using other characters who have like interruptible rotations, or they get guard broken, or something happens, they have to kite, they mistime their proc. And even with the CTP of Rage, you can miss a skill that does a lot of damage on the proc, and that can really affect how much damage you do in the long run, especially at such a high level with so many buffs going on, and also with basically no one else interrupting here, because we don't have any strikers going on. It's really just whatever Scarlet Witch is doing on top of whatever I'm doing with Doctor Strange. We're doing pretty well right now. We just missed that 4th skill. That's kind of our only mistake thus far, but we can fix it pretty easily by just popping it there. We're okay. We're a couple seconds behind, but that's why we go for a full 2 minutes, so we can get a larger sample size. Obviously, going right to the end would probably be the best, but at least this way we can get another, we got interrupted there, but we can get another rotation. We can get another rotation in. We're going to go a little bit past 2 minutes. We're going to go for 1 full rotation after this, just because we got interrupted quite a bit there. And so we'll stop it there about 5 seconds later. So we got down to about 9.5 bars. So I'm gonna note this here. I haven't been doing this testing off camera, so it's just what you see is what you get. So now let's plug in with the next one on the list, Weapon Hex, and see what happens. Hey, do you guys think that with this long hair I should put out a country music album, or should I still stick with the rap album? Because for those of you on stream, I talked about releasing a rap album on SoundCloud for free in October, and it's almost October, and I don't have a rap album, surprise, surprise. But yeah, maybe I'm thinking with the popularity of like Lil Nas X and all these songs, maybe I should just go for country music, go for that yeehaw, that K-Kona vibe, rather than going for the going for the rap thing. But here we go. This is the next one. A lot of people think that Weapon Hex is the best striker in the game because of that 100% all defense down. There was also the possibility of testing as well Deadpool and Colossus, because they are also two well well powerful and well effective strikers who a lot of people mention as like really good strikers for all defense down, but I didn't want to because of the physical reduction. So I don't know exactly how it works, but my guess is, or my hypothesis might be that if he's not doing any damage, they can't apply the all defense down. I'm not sure if I'm exactly right about that. We can test it in a later video, but I thought it would just be cleaner to have this video comparing energy damage dealing characters of mind control, because these 3 characters, I mean, Weapon Hex is a variation of Scarlet Witch combined with X-23, so there's a lot there that's obviously relatable. But on top of that, Rachel, a lot of people think Rachel just seems like Scarlet Witch pre-uniform, and who's to argue with that? She seems very, very similar, so I decided it would make more sense, it would be more thematically fitting to do the 3 of them together. And there you go, there's the Weapon Hex, there's that random Weapon Hex hit, and that's why those bars started flying down. That's why we've crushed Scarlet Witch's score here. And again, this is just 1 run, but yeah, you can see I'm actually gonna have to be real careful here. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to get to Rachel at all. But yeah, 1 striker is all you need apparently for Doctor Strange at level 59, which is absolutely absurd. If you guys had any doubt that he was one of the best, if not the best PvE character in the game, this is your proof. So we're gonna stop it here. But holy crap, we definitely could have. I think I started to hesitate a little bit. So we're gonna call this 5.5 bars, but I think honestly, we could have gone a little bit further. We could have gone maybe to 4.5 bars. She just melts that shit so quick, and it's kind of scary because if I kill them, there's no reset button, there's no redo button. I can't go back and test with the same characters, so I have to be very careful. So you can kind of judge that based on what you saw, in addition to how you feel about it, because that was a pretty wild showing. Again, just 1 match, just 2 minutes. Over hundreds or thousands of samples, you might get something that's a little bit less than that. That might have been like the optimal pattern for Weapon Hex to drop that 4th skill. Some people say that they play with Weapon Hex, every single day, 5 times a day, and sometimes they get lucky. 5 fights out of 5, and she does the all defense down, and the fight goes super quick. And then other times they go days or weeks, and they forget she's on the team as a striker because she's not doing anything. Again, I can't validate those claims or that anecdotal evidence, but that was damn sick just now. That was 4 bars more than Scarlet Witch. That was insane. So now let's check out the girl Rachel, the new kid on the block, worth, apparently, according to Netmarble, she's worth 4,500 crystals up front, and then in total, once you do all the hoops, once you jump through all those hoops for We get off to a bad start here. You know what? Let's restart. I'm so sorry. That was a terrible start. But apparently, according to Netmarble, even after the refund, she's worth over 3,000 crystals, which is honestly not bad if you have the crystals and you want the character, because otherwise, right now, at least in the current climate, getting her to tier 2 will take years. That's not a joke. And of course, using a mega rank up ticket and a mega tier 2 ticket is way more than 3,000 crystals. But, I mean, listen, we're going to have to see. If she's not even as good as Scarlet Witch, what's the point to begin with? So we're going to have to wait and see. People have claimed that she does her 4th skill a lot. And I've already seen it twice in 10 seconds, which is a good sign. But because she doesn't have the all defense down, she's going to have to do that 4th skill a lot for it to actually matter. Because remember, she's doing the mind control, which is not necessary, but it's nice for Doctor Strange, but it's really the the damage reduction, or the damage received, which is kind of like the opposite of damage reduction. If that damage reduction is popping up all the time, I mean, Scarlet Witch has, what, 6% damage reduction, and she's going with 10, so she's got almost double that, which means she should be ahead of Scarlet Witch. If that's the case, if she's popping her 4th skill all the time, which she seems to be doing, she should land somewhere in between Weapon Hex and I got hit there for a second. She should land somewhere between Weapon Hex and Scarlet Witch. So let's see. We are seeing a lot of 4th skill, and this is sort of like the eye test, you know. And that's like a sports term. Talk about basketball players shooting and their stance and their sort of their follow through and their posture. You talk about the eye test, but you also have the eye test and stuff like video games. And it seems like she's doing her 4th skill a lot, which is great. But I don't know how that's actually going to translate into your actual real-time battles. I'm not saying to go out and get Rachel Summers, but I think it's a good comparison, especially because some people are wondering what's going to happen. And I'm honestly kind of wondering, too, after the 60 days are up, are we not going to be able to get Rachel by any other methods? Are they going to have a sale, you know, every few months for 60 days? I don't really know. Maybe they're going to do that. Maybe they'll have characters in rotation in the future for that. But we're coming up on 2 minutes past. And yeah, we're right around. We're probably going to end up being close to where Scarlet Witch is, but not ahead of Scarlet Witch, and certainly not where Weapon Hex ended us up at. Actually, this seems worse, and you can account for some of this. We're going to go a little bit further here. We're just going to end with the last rotation. Yeah, I mean, even with the generosity of giving an extra 5 seconds to account for a couple of stutters, just a couple, like 2 seconds here and there, she's basically at where Scarlet Witch was at, which is honestly not bad, comparing the fact that Rachel Summers is just the character for 3,000 crystals, whereas Scarlet Witch is, you know, 9,000 biometrics, all this black antimatter, you got to get Quicksilver, you got to get Cable, and then you also have to purchase her uniform for 1,000 crystals. So in terms of raw cost, Scarlet Witch is, you know, 100 million gold and all those other resources. She's way more expensive than Rachel. But again, it's crystals. Some people just don't have crystals. They can slow grind all those other materials, but they're constantly spending their crystals on other things. But I think for new players, if you haven't yet made that investment, maybe don't. I mean, it's a crazy idea, but maybe if Rachel can take over, if she can do all of Scarlet Witch's duties, because she's doing everything. She's got the mind control and she's got the damage reduction, right? If she can do both of those things that Scarlet Witch is doing, and she's doing it a lot, and you can go back and count how many times she did the 4th skill throughout the video, yeah, maybe drop 3,000 crystals is a better investment for now than all that investment into Scarlet Witch. So that's probably a question, that's probably a debate for another video. Let me know how you guys feel about it. I love these kinds of comparisons, and I love that I actually thought of the idea to actually make this kind of comparison, and I have the tools necessary with a character like Doctor Strange, with a level as high for Call Obsidian as I can. It's almost like, you know, a little testing zone because the damage is so low. Well, it's not low, but it's low enough that, you know, things don't go by so quickly that you have such a small window. You've got a whole 2 minutes to gauge with the strikers constantly popping in every 5 seconds. So you've got like 20 to 25 different times that they could have chosen to do any skill, and then you just see how many times it landed on the 4th skill, because that's the money maker for all 3 of them. So hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know which one of these 3 you guys think is the best. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.